What's poppin' YouTube? Andy Bizzle here. I'm here to talk to you about the Tim Hortons and the boycott. Now, if you're not Canadian, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Maybe a couple little spots in the States. But I'm Canadian and Tim Hortons is a part of our life. Now, these heirs, these people that own Tim Hortons, are taking away the minimum wage in Canada was raised. So the minimum wage is now $14 an hour, and then next year it is $15 an hour. The people at Tim Hortons, the corporate side of it, took away paid breaks. They took away their unpaid half-hour lunch. They took away their tips. They're taking away everything from these employees. Even in some spots, the benefits are getting taken back. So this is crazy. It's blowing up in Canada. Some of the things that are going on is boycotts. There's a NO Timmies Tuesday that's going on, and I'm currently supporting it. The NO Timmies Tuesday essentially means you do not get a Tim Hortons on the Tuesday morning. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a lot of news and boycott, controversy. Everybody's covering it. CTV News is covering it. Global's covering it. Vice is covering it. Everybody's covering it. All the people in Canada are talking about it. It's everywhere. Let's read what CTV has to say. A social media movement, CTV News, a social media movement encouraged people to join NO Timmies Tuesday on January 9th. The protest comes after Ontario Tim Hortons franchisees eliminated paid breaks, fully covered health and dental plans, and other perks for their workers to help absorb the 20% jump from $11.60 to $14 an hour. Tim Hortons said individual franchisees are responsible for setting employee wages and benefits while complying with the laws. Yeah, bullshit. But some franchisees argue the corporation with control prices should help owners. Yeah, there's privately owned Tim Hortons, and most of them get corporate guidance. Tim Hortons fired back, saying such cuts do not reflect the values of our brand, the views of our company, the views of the overwhelming majority of restaurant owners. The chain called the cuts reckless and completely unacceptable, adding staff should never be used to further an agenda or be treated as just an expense. That's what money-hungry business billionaires do? They cut and don't care about the normal person? Now you guys are in the limelight. Now you gotta deal with it. Where do you go from here, he asked, acknowledging that such disputes are usually better resolved in private negotiations. Yeah. So basically what they're saying, corporate is blaming the restaurant owners, well, the restaurant corporate Tim Hortons owners for the cuts in wages. But obviously those Tim Hortons get all their pricing, right? With the stuff they got to buy, the pricing, the quotas. They got to meet certain things. Probably impossible numbers given the circumstances coming down from corporate. Let's see what Vice had to say about this. Vice News is one of my favorite companies for news. Local, they tell the truth. No bullish. A rally is planned outside the Coburg Tim Hortons on Wednesday. It's not the only one. The Hamilton and District Labor Council, I'm from Hamilton, that's my city, have also decided to picket at Dundas Tim Hortons, that's the city right beside me, in response to the Tim Hortons pulling the paid breaks of their employees. The Tim Hortons location has allegedly cut benefits and paid breaks employees as a result of new minimum wage laws. So same thing, they're talking about the same thing. They cut the paid breaks. Ontario's Labour Minister Kevin Flynn took everything a step further by saying that the businesses taking the minimum wage hike out on their workers completely. Yeah, we read that. On top of real life pickets and possible investigations, a Tim Horton boycott called NO Timmies Tuesday is what's breaking the scene. Facebook, social networks, all that stuff. For Canadians anyways, I don't know if you Americans are hearing about it. Turns out Canadians aren't all that polite when you steal their fucking benefits and breaks. You think a company that purports and embodies all things Canada would know that, eh? That's perfect one-liner for Vice News. That's the perfect way to end their column. I'm doing this with my hands a lot. Ta-da! My personal view on it is I drink Tim Hortons quite often. Not so much anymore. I've been rotating McDonald's, Tim Hortons, and I haven't got a Tim Hortons since. I don't know if I'm going to continue that. I'm going to kind of see what investigates further with what's going on. If corporate's going to change, if they're going to either help the owners, if that's what's actually going on. Who knows what's actually going on. Help the owners make those quotas so they don't have to do all those cutbacks. If they're encouraging it, to see what happens with that. So pretty much Tim Hortons is screwing all the hard workers and the normal everyday people like me. I work a 9 to 5 job. That's my thing. I do these videos on the side. Imagine working at Tim Hortons, which you already get paid less, and they actually do bust pretty good. They do. Every time I'm at Tim Hortons is a 20-person lineup. Every single time. So just imagine what they deal with and the stress they deal with every day. And now being stripped of everything that's beneficial about a job, breaks, like you get paid 15-minute breaks, now you don't get paid for it. After all the stress you put on through that company, for that company during the work hours, and then benefits like to support your family, dental, health, prescription, all that stuff, to take that away as well. And then even lunch, they don't get a lunch no more. The lunch was already unpaid, but that time to eat during 8 hours, you're not going to eat once during 8 hours. So Tim Hortons is in some deep water here. I'd like to see what comes of it. I hope a lot of people actually do boycott the Tim Hortons. It'll send a message. We Canadians should send a message. We should stand up and help the normal everyday people that work for these companies, in this case Tim Hortons, work for Tim Hortons and help them get all their stuff back. If you think this boycott on Tim Hortons is worth it, worth the cause, and you agree with it, leave a comment down below. I want to hear what you guys think. So that concludes today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I hope to see you back on this channel. See you next time.